All right. Part 2 for the day. August 16th, 2016. I'm going to play something I just watched. Oh, God. All right, here it goes.
I'm Cabot Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're in Annandale, Virginia at a Hillary Clinton event, talking to her supporters about whether they think we should repeal the Second Amendment.
Listen carefully to these dumbass people. You might be one of them. Oh, God help us.
Let's see what they have to say. Do you think it would be a good idea to repeal the Second Amendment?
That's a good proposal.
Yeah, I definitely think that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I really think that we really need to start viewing human rights as more important than gun rights.
Yeah. I mean, I think yes, because the document was written 200 years ago.
Yes, people seem to value guns more than they value other people's lives, and that needs to change.
You kind of mentioned that you think it would be really hard to repeal the Second Amendment, but in an ideal world, if the NRA wasn't around, would you think it would be a good idea?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. I hate the NRA. I'm from a relatively wealthy area. I don't think there's any reason that anyone would need a gun in that area.
Repeal the Second Amendment and start from scratch. So, would you support that movement?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to me that, the Constitution is great and everything, but you have to remember that people made these, humans make mistakes, and it was written hundreds of years ago.
We follow rules that are written over 200 years ago.
I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. I don't really know how it will work out, but how it will play out with Congress and everything, but I'd be down for it.
Okay.
A lot of people just don't really understand that the value of life is so much more than the right to bear arms.
But I'm sure that there will be a lot of people that just hear repealing the Second Amendment and just absolutely disagree. But I think that would make sense, I think, a lot.
So, Second Amendment, do away with, we got to start over?
Yeah. Yes.
We've been having a lot of issues on the gun control, and I think it's time to start fresh.
So yeah, I think it's high time that Hillary Clinton is definitely going to be one of those people that can really spark that conversation and make a change.
Okay.
You heard it. These people scare me. I don't even know what to say. Oh God. Oh, shit. Oh God. What, I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes saying, oh God, we're fucked. Oh, the world, humanity. These are Hillary people. All right. Gather my thoughts here for a second. What? I think, seriously, that if there are millions of people that think this way, that don't think at all, actually, because that's just fucking stupid. I feel a rant coming on. Oh my God. I want to just shake them. Slap the fucking shit out of these morons. To be fair, there are a bunch of other people on the other side, that oh, gun rights, I gotta have my gun. Some of them are just as stupid and insane as these people in the kind of opposite direction. The fact that these people, I'm not sure. They may not be people. They may just be, mindless zombie drones walking around going, yeah, la, 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 la. Like I said, it's just scary. That these people are 18, 19, 20, young adults. And they say stuff like that, and it just boggles my mind. I mean, just look at it. The rules written over 200 years ago. So they think, they say, oh, it was written over 200 years ago, this rule, which is for the government, by the way, not for the people. A lot of people don't understand that either. I could probably do a survey, or when I'm on the street interviewing with people, and you know, like 9 out of 10 of them would get that question wrong. You know, the question of, it's not, you know, what's the Constitution for? What purpose does it have? What is it? What's the reason that, you know, over 200 years ago, some people got together and said, let's make a rule thing, and a whole bunch of them put it in there and tell people, well, this is how you do things. Government, you know, who did that, and why did they do that, and who's it for? All right. For one thing, the Constitution isn't for us. It's supposed to protect us from the government by telling the government what it can and cannot do. Like, for example, it cannot make laws that, you know, infringe upon the natural human right to keep and bear arms and defend yourself and defend your country from its government. Thomas Paine said something about that. It's the duty of the patriot to protect his country from its government. I'm not going to count on these idiots. Guarantee you. They're like, oh my God, someone's got a gun. I hate the NRA, he said. And that was written hundreds of years ago. All right, let's just consider that one point for a minute. Somebody sit down, some people, and they wrote some rules for the government. You know, telling, it's like a contract with a corporation. You know, like, we're going to let you exist. You're a fictitious entity. We're going to call you the United States government. And we're going to make this document here, which is like a law that tells you what you can and cannot do. Government, you know, like, Mr. President, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you have to do this. Congress, you make the laws. You're the only body in the government that's supposed to make laws. You know, executive orders aside, another crazy idea, which is abused. I mean, if they just used it for what it was meant to be for, then fine. But they don't. They just use it for like a dictatorship. So, it's the Constitution for, I know a title, I've seen it somewhere written, the Constitution for the United States, which is the name of the government. The government is called the United States, because it's like a union of states. A corporate union. This is, I'm not telling you anything you shouldn't already know. But if you're like these people, these millennials, I got another name for them. You should know these things. It's for the government. It's a guidebook, a rule book, a law, a contract with the government from the people that started this whole thing. That tells the government what to do and what not to do. You know, you got to do this, you can't do that. And one of the things that the Constitution says that you can't do is the government can't make a law that has to do with guns. You can't do anything like ban guns or make you get a freaking permit from the government or you know, you got to have a background check. You got to have a license and all that. No, you can't. No, I'm sorry, but the Constitution tells the government what it's like. It's like the 10 Commandments for the government. You know, you got to do this, or you're not a government. You're not allowed to continue being a government because excuse me, you broke the law. You're a traitor to the Constitution. You criminal because you broke the law that applies to you, Mr. President. The right to keep and bear arms. Let's read the Constitution. Let's read the First Amendment. Let's read the Second Amendment. Let's see what it says. Now, people get confused over this because the framers of the Constitution thought that, people would be, intelligent 200 years later. But they're not. So the joke is on all of us, I guess. Hey, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Jefferson, what do you say? I think we should have an amendment here. Okay, what should we say? We'll call it Second Amendment. How are we going to write that? We should probably put something there about the fact that everybody in this country, every able-bodied person that can carry a gun and so forth, is part of the militia. It's called the civilian militia, not the government militia. As opposed to the Army or the Navy. Militias like us, people. All of us. But that was the plan, that was the idea, that's the original intent. Every able-bodied human being or citizen of, person in America is, in the States at that point, 13 of them, we have the right. And so we also have to have a militia because back in those days it was a good idea. We should have a militia today, but, unfortunately the Nazi fascist pig fucking government, kills all of those people that say, we're going to have a militia here. We're going to call it Texas Militia. We'll call it the Minutemen. And then, the government goes in and murders these bastards. I mean, people, citizens, patriots. Now, I'm not saying all these militias that people call a militia are actually militia or actually decent. You could call the KKK a militia, I suppose. I think it's pretty obvious what's wrong with that idea. But the amendment says clearly, and you can put the militia thing aside because that's like a secondary point. That's one that has lost its meaning in America today because nobody, militia, they like skinheads or white supremacists or some damn thing, which is wrong. Those people are not a militia. Those people are a gang of thugs and lunatics and shit. Not all of them. So I probably wouldn't use the word militia anymore, today because, nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows how to interpret that word according to the definition in the fucking dictionary. So obviously the word militia still means what it did then, since the definition hasn't changed. Alright, so anyway, put that aside. Second Amendment says, and I quote, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Meaning, not infringed. See, there we go back to the babblizing of English. Infringe. That doesn't mean that anymore. Yes, it does. It's always meant that. It always will mean that. Change it in your brain, in your brain any way you want, but it still means what it means. Words mean what they mean. 200 years ago, the word "don't fucking make any laws" means don't fucking make any laws, or you're guilty of criminal act, of treason. You broke the law. You can be hanged by the neck until dead for that. See, that's the problem. We did away with tar and feathering scoundrels and scallywags. Should bring that back. I can think of a few people we could just tar and feather right away. Like right now, we could just go out and find hundreds of people that are like subhuman bastards, traitors, criminals, insane. We don't want to tar and feather insane people. That would be cruel. Well, if they're criminally insane, yeah, sure, go ahead. Second Amendment. simply states the obvious. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Means, basically, what it means. The word means infringed shall not be infringed. Means don't infringe it. Any way at all. None. Zip. Zero. Zelch. That means no laws. Government, since that's the law that tells the government you can't make that law. Any of those laws that have anything to do with guns, you can't do it. It's against the law. The Constitution is the law that the government has to obey. It doesn't, and it hasn't for a long time, and that's the issue. Hey, Mr. President, obey the law. You just do that because you're the president. And you took an oath that says, I will obey the law of the Constitution, no matter what. I will absolutely do it. And if I don't, you can kill me. You know, those words into the oath of office. So help me God. I don't know why they keep saying that, because God is, it's just a religious bullshit. But it means what it means. It means now the same thing it meant 200 years ago when someone said, so help me God. Like in a court of law or when you're taking an oath of office. It is basically saying, it is saying, so help me God, meaning if you break your promise, if you break your oath, if you violate the Constitution, which the oath tells you you can't do without penalties, we can kill you. And you know that. And you said so, and you raised your hand and said, so help me God, meaning if I break my word, you can hang me for treason or crimes against freedom and so forth. Yes, that's what it means. Because back in those days, 200 years ago, a lot of people thought, well, if you fuck up, may God help you. And so when you say the oath and you say those words at the end of it, so help me God, that means to you, that's telling us if you violate your oath of office, you accept the consequences, which is we can hang you dead on a tree out in front of the White House or Congress building. I'm sure we could find a tree. If not, we could build one. So we can hang the rope from it. Call it a gallows, I suppose. So, what I'm saying is, if you are a government official, you took an oath. The oath means what it means. What it's always been. May God help you, because we're not going to. We're going to help you get, up there so you can ask God for help personally, face to face, so to speak. In other words, we're going to hang you, and then, God can deal with you. Not that I'm a God guy. I'm not. But just because it has the word God in it doesn't mean it's not right, or that it can't be dealt with accordingly. I suppose if someone was, got together a little committee and said, let's write an oath of office, and then at the end of it, after they swear in, I swear to defend and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, etc., etc. And then they say, let's not say so help me God. Let's just say, I promise to do that, and if I don't do that, I know that you're going to hang me for treason or whatever. Okay? Instead of so help me God, just say, I promise this at risk of being killed if I don't live up to my promise. Or, worse to that effect. Because what it means, people. And I really think it's odd, because I'm the only person that I know of that brings that up and says anything about that. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or an atheist or whatever. You're not the one taking the oath. You're not the one saying that. Maybe every citizen in this country needs to say that. Like, when they're reach the age of 12 or something. I swear to be intelligent and think logically and do good things and not do any bad things, so help me God. And when they did something that violated their promise, I swear not to tell a lie ever, so help me God. Well, if they tell a lie, then, yeah, guess what? You broke the law, and you knew that if you did, like you did tell a lie, then I'm sorry, but you agreed that if you told a lie, because you promised not to, we can hang you until you're dead. Get rid of a lot of crazy people that way. Unfortunately, the crazy mob, zombie mob, would probably go around killing good people like me. Because they think, oh, you're a bad guy, you know. Well, not, but don't give crazy people the authority to hang people. Give intelligent, rational, logical people the capacity to rid the country of these yahoos, these traitors and criminals and criminally insane monsters and shit like Hillary Clinton. I swear to God, I can't believe that woman is still alive, let alone walking around free and running for president. And, you know, there's a very good chance, I mean, at this point, I think it's like 50-50, that she can be the next president. Oh, God help us. You know, God. So help me God. So help us all. Which, of course, God, you can't, never mind, we won't get into the God thing. So anyway, Second Amendment, these people are idiots. I swear to God, I can't believe they're even able to put on their clothes and walking around, and I just, you know, that's stupid. They should be like wearing diapers and playing in the freaking playpen or something. Just don't let these people go out in the world and do stuff. They're just, I'll be blunt, they're fucking dangerous. I mean, they might vote for Hillary or something. God. I've used the word God a lot in this one. I'm not a God guy, okay? Because I'm intelligent. Intelligent people don't believe in that nonsense. Mythological nonsense. So anyway, Second Amendment tells the government, don't be messing with people's rights. They have the right to keep and bear arms, period. End of story, not debatable. Supreme Court, listen up. So we got 9 judges up there on the Supreme Court, like, okay, your honors, you have the opportunity now to make this clear to the American people, especially these dumb young adult people that are like fucking morons. Just say it. Supreme Court. Should be unanimous. All 9 of you should say. The Second Amendment says what it says. It means what it means. It means no laws, damn it, and don't do it, or we will, like, rule against you, and you will, like, be impeached and tried, convicted, and hanged out in front of the freaking White House. Etc., etc. So why is the Supreme Court not doing that? It's their job to do that. It's their job to look at something and say, oh, that's English. It says the right to keep and bear arms should not be, oh, the right, that's a right, which, you know, I was born with it. So you can't take it away from me. Nobody can. Period. Case closed. End of story. I could probably voluntarily give it up, but no, not really. I can ignore the fact that I have the right, but still, you still got it because you're born with it. It's like having fingernails. They're there. You got them. You're alive, you got fingernails. So anyway, like I said, these people scare me, and they should not be allowed to vote. That wouldn't be fair, would it? Because everybody has the right to vote, I guess. Right? Sure. So, what do we need to do? Find these stupid people and beat the shit out of them until they, like, make their brain work. Slap you silly, you dumb ox. Anyway, that's not good. Violence, you shouldn't be going on. Don't be a bully. Don't be a bully, don't be a tyrant. And don't be an idiot. Don't kill people. Stupid. Alright. Unless they're trying to hurt you, in which case, sure, go ahead. You have the right to defend yourself. That's a fact. That's a given. Not even debatable. So the opportunity was there for the Supreme Court. You know, they've been around for like a couple hundred years, you know. Supreme Court. not the same ones. I mean, they get new ones because some of them die and retire. Shit. They get new Supreme Court judges. And, all 9 of them should be unanimous here. Unanimous. Anonymous. No. Well, they should be anonymous sometimes. They should be unanimous in their decisions here on these, in the gun things. And here's the law. Here's the law. It says guns are, let's say, you got to have a permission from the government, license to carry a gun. Okay? And the Supreme Court judges say, that law is not allowed. Because it says in the law of the Constitution, the law that tells the government what to do and what not to do, it says right there, government, you can't do that. And if you do that, you're going to hell. Or dangle from a tree. So all 9 of them should say, it says right there, the right to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. And that's what it is, that's what it means, and that's what it always meant. That's what it's always going to mean, because words mean what they mean. And it says, don't do that. Don't make a law. Period. End of story. So why hasn't the Supreme Court done that? Just 9 of you. You can say a lot of shit. You write all these big decisions, like pages and pages and pages of words. Yada, 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 yada. All you had to do was say this. Your Honor, have 9 of you reached, a ruling on this, a decision? What about the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed? What about that? And all 9 of them should just say in unison and write it down, for history. And say in unison, that means no laws. And they're talking to the government people as well as President and Senate and Congress. They should just say that. It's simple. Our ruling is no law shall be made. Period. Case closed. End of story. In regards to the right to keep and bear arms, and then all the laws across the country would be like instantly abolished. Like bingo. So the right, you can't carry a gun, okay? Well, you can't tell me that because it's against the law to tell me that. And if you tell me that, you're a criminal and you need to be punished. At the very least, if you're like a local guy, I'm the mayor of Fairmont and I'm declaring unilaterally, and the city council backs me on this, we're banning guns from the city of Fairmont. With the exception of the Nazi, fascist, police state, bully, thug, criminal traitors of the police department. So they can go ahead and carry guns because we like crazy people having guns. So anyway, thing is, the mayor should say, I can't do that because that's against the law. The right to keep our arms shall not be infringed by anybody. Supreme Court, Congress, President, governors, mayors, police chiefs in Fairmont or Shinson. Shinson. Don't even get me started on that fucking town. The government of that town. I want to tell the story about Shinson there. About 6, 7, 12, quite a while ago. 10 years ago, Shinson did a really bad, the municipal judge and a couple of the policemen there committed crimes against humanity, so to speak. Get into it. I'll do a whole show on that sometime. So, shall not be infringed means exactly that. Because it's a right. It says so right in the fucking amendment. The right to keep and bear arms. If it's a right, then the government has nothing to say about it. Can't license it or ban it or make it legal or illegal. You can't make any laws saying I can't carry a gun or I have to have a permit to carry a gun or whatever. And to the credit of West Virginia government, did one thing right. The Congress in West Virginia passed a law, not that they needed to, because there's already the Second Amendment, which is the law, telling the government what to do. And they just created, by the passing the law a month or two ago, you can't tell people they have to have a permit to carry a gun concealed. You can now constitutional carry in West Virginia. And I do, from time to time. So there was some progress made by the West Virginia government, which is run at the moment by Governor Tomlin, who is like a fascist pig and should be tarred and feathered. So that's my thing on the Second Amendment and these yahoos that haven't got a clue. Like, it was written hundreds of years ago. Yeah, it still applies. I'm sorry. The thing about the Second Amendment is it doesn't make a law for us. It tells the government what to do. I've said that. And the thing about that is it just simply acknowledges the right and says the government has to protect the right. It's their job. They don't do it, you're criminals. If you betray the human, if you betray, which is what treason means, you committed treason, and the penalty for that is dingle dangle under a tree, at the end of a rope. You should make use of the. Yeah. Well. So anyway, that's my take on the Second Amendment and the Supreme Court, idiots, criminals, every one of them, and traitors, and they should, all 9 of them, well, 8 of them now, should be removed from that office and placed in criminally insane institutions, mental institution for being crazy. So, all right, you got that? I'm going to take a brief pause here. I'll be back. That's all, folks, for now. Catch you later.